Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and well, it is very cold today, and I keep getting told how freezing it is all over the world, and so obviously it's not as cold as there, okay, but it's pretty cold. And yeah, didn't really, I'm not sure about this top. I'm really not sure, especially when I do that doesn't look good. So, note to self, don't do that again. I bought this ages ago, and it's kind of long sleeved, but the sleeves are a bit too long. But I always, whenever I've got long sleeves, to do that anyway. Can't bear it around my ankles, around my wrists. Same sort of thing, just wrong appendage. So yeah, I can't stand all that around my cuffs, unless it's got to be a certain type, then I can tolerate it. Otherwise, it's just I'll roll them up. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Anyway, I wore this. It's knitted, but it's ultra thin. It's one of those. I don't know if they call them jersey. I don't know what they call it, but it's kind of like a knitted thing rather than a t-shirt. But it is as thin as a t-shirt. And then I wore my coat and a scarf and my gloves, and it was still cold even though. Anyway, yeah, I got up and I did my hump day giveaway, and then I went to put it on and YouTube had a problem, so I couldn't. And I thought, oh, I did all that so I could do it before I went out. Hang on. Crazy crochet lady. So yeah, I did all that so that I wouldn't, I could do that before I went out and it wouldn't be late and everything else. But they had a problem. And I thought, oh, typical. So I kind of thought I'll just leave it until I get home, and I reported it to them. I thought by the time I get back, hopefully it'll be sorted out. So we had to go to a couple of DIY places. Gary is, yes, once again banging and screwing away. Sounds bad. Anyway, he's once again DIYing, and he's doing the conservatory. Now we've got, if you've been part of my channel for some time, you'll know that we already tackled one wall out there, which we did with pressed wood, wood that's all kind of pressed and made out of bits, and then we stained it and varnished it so it kind of shone those colours through, and we chose like deep reds and mahoganies. So that wall is now half kind of cladded that way, with white. So it looks really nice. It's set it off nicely. And the other wall is going to be all clad. So it'll just be all sort of, slats, if you like. Tongue and groove. But we've got to wait until Martin, Gary's brother, can kind of help him put vents in. Because the conservatory has a problem that it doesn't have any breathable sort of vents. And outside there is, because we're on a hill, the guy next door piled earth up and he put it halfway up the wall, and that's no damp course. So obviously that becomes a problem. And so we have dehumidifiers out there, and Gary has to bleach and wash the walls occasionally because of it. So we're trying to put steps in to counteract that. So he's going to put these vents with, grills on so that no spiders can get in. And then he's going to do the full wall like it. So it'll be white one side, white and red the other, and all the way down. It should look nice. And he's been doing the floor, but he's not sure if he's going to keep that floor in because it's not hard wearing. Although it's nice and warm, it doesn't feel cold to walk on, and Fluffy likes it because of that. But it's not hard wearing, so we'll have to kind of see what we can do about that, really. But that's what he's doing. So we had to go to 2 DIY shops, and then because we needed basics like toilet roll and a few things Gary needed, we went into a supermarket and had to get some more yogurt and fruit. So we didn't buy masses, but we just got a few bits and pieces that we'd run out of. So yeah, we did quite a bit really. And that on the way out, we're just driving along and we got to the end, quite a way down the road, that suddenly the police come towards us, flashing lights and sirens, parked across the road. And, oh, there's been an accident up there. So we had to turn around, go all the way back and go the other way. And then it kind of dawned on us that we stopped as we came out, stopped and spoke to a neighbour that we haven't seen for a while. We usually see him walking dogs. And so we stopped and had a chat. Her name's Mary. So we stopped and had a chat with Mary and her husband, and then we made our way. But if we hadn't stopped to have a chat with Mary, that could have been us in the accident. Isn't it weird when that happens? It makes you think that obviously it could have been the opposite, because we stopped and spoke to Mary. We had there's no kind of justification, but if we hadn't, then we'd have been further down the road at that point. Maybe we might have gone just before it. Who knows? But it is weird, isn't it? How you kind of, remember those programs? I used to really like them, about the last 24 hours of somebody. So they'd choose someone like Kurt Cobain, and they'd do the last 48 or the last 24 hours, and they'd show you the timeline. And you never know, do you? That it's just weird. It's weird, really. Weird feeling that, if we hadn't stopped, you never know. Anyway, I feel like the light's a bit weird in here today. I've got this kind of shadow in, and I look bald. I'm not. It's just it's all in a bit of a... Oh, actually, it's come out. It was all up in a top knot. Kind of scuffed it all up because couldn't be bothered with it today. Just couldn't be bothered with hair. And on days like today, Gary or someone was like, well, cut your hair then. And it's like, no, it's taken me ages to get this hair this long. But it's like, I don't always want to faff about with the hair, you know what I mean? There's times when it's just going to get shoved out the back or shoved up on the top. But shoved is not the right word, but you know what I mean. Can't shove hair, really. Cheers, guys. I really need this tea, so I'm not going to let it go cold. Oh, nice cup of biscuit tea. What else have I got to tell you? Let me think. Yeah, so I took my phone. When we shop now, I have to get my phone out to see if we can have the thing. And Gary said to me, why don't you get some pot noodle? Now, I have to have gluten-free, but down one of the gluten-free aisles of one of the supermarkets, they had naked noodles. And I never bothered zapping them because I don't really eat that sort of thing. But I say I've got to have a bit of a lunch sometimes. If I don't, I'm ravenous by dinner and then tend to eat too much. So he said, I'll buy you a couple of those, because he was buying shopping. I'll buy you a couple of those noodle things. I said, well, it depends. Because the ones with gluten have only got a sin or two in, doesn't mean that the gluten-free ones will be the same. I'll have to zap them and see first. So I went into Tesco. I didn't have any. I'd have been Morrison's. Can never really win, can you? But I thought, well, I don't really eat that sort of thing anyway. I just have to be a little bit more, I feel like I'm always cooking. That's the thing. I'm always doing, like before I go to bed, I make our breakfast oats. But tomorrow, I'm going to have egg and bacon for a change. And that way, when it comes to lunchtime, we can have bread. Yay, see? This is becoming the diet channel. I'll have to stop talking about it. I will, definitely. So I didn't go in any shops to see if they had any yarn while I was out, because I've got yarn coming. I've got an order from King Cole. Now, it's not a gigantic order. I think I only ordered a couple of things. But in the past, what I would do is I'd buy a little bit of that and a little bit of that and a little bit of that. Well, I've not done that these last few orders. I've just done a couple of things and ordered most of them, if not all. So that's what I've kind of been doing, and I've got these ones that are coming. I'm really looking forward to getting a squish of them, because well, you'll see when you see them, one especially. And I'm going to do some kits. I might have told you this already, I don't know, but it's harder than you think to sort it out. I thought I'd sorted it out, and then I looked and I thought, you know what, that's really the wrong way of going about it. I need to do it this way. And it's just that there's more than one way of uploading it to my website. but I'll get there. Now I've gone red, but I had something in my eye. Yeah, so I've got to try and all of the different colours as well. You want to incorporate those that you've got, and so yeah, I'm going to have to do it eventually, but it's going to take a bit more time to work out than just popping up a kit or something, unfortunately. So still haven't done my winner. I was going to do it, but then, as I said, YouTube had the problem, so it kind of threw me off a bit. So it will come up, don't worry, I will be doing that, but it might have to wait until tomorrow now, because you know, I've lost the day really. I had an upload problem, and luckily I was able to message them. I couldn't do a screenshot of it like they usually ask, but I was able to just send them a message, and luckily got home and it seems to have worked out well. I think I won't know until I go to upload another like this video, then I will know for sure. Just going to finish my tea. I needed that. It was cold out there. Okay, it weren't -17, but it was still a bit on the chilly side. It was damp as well. You know, one of those kind of dampy days. Not rainy, just we've had a lot of mist and fog around, but it's just a damp in the air. But Gary has been ripping out stuff, so he's been loading the car up with all the old stuff. So I dare say we have a tip run to go soon, which I do need, because my some of my boxes that my yarn arrives in are huge. You could live in them, seriously. Put it out in the garden, the summer house. Some of them are gigantic. All right, that might be an exaggeration, but they are big, and they're too big even for Fluffy. I mean, she's got a nice Stylecraft box because they are wider than they are fat. They're kind of rectangular, let's just say. So I can turn it on its shortest side and put a cushion in the bottom, and she's got like this little house. I don't know why I need the actions, but she's got this little house and she likes it. And if it was a bit shorter, it'd still be fine. Don't have to be quite as wide, but or as long, whichever way round that is. But you know, it's just a perfect size for her, so she's got a little box. But hopefully when one arrives that's even more tailor-made for Fluffy, she can have that. She does love a box. Cats love boxes, don't they? A bit like babies and kids. You buy them all these expensive toys and then they just want to play with the packaging. Yeah, had that before many times. Not so much now, obviously. So today is Gary's son Jamie's birthday, and I must message him. I haven't done it yet. And then we've got Michael on Saturday. So we're going to go out for a little meal. And then straight after that, we've got Charlotte's. And so that's another dinner, but that will be one that Gary cooks. She wants him to make her a roast. So yeah, I think that will be, unfortunately, 2 dodgy dinners this week. Could have a bad impact upon my diet, just saying. Although when we're going to Bella Italia, and it'll be interesting because Eleonora is Italian, and she knows that they're not authentic dishes, so she's bound to like not really like like the food, because it's, you know, it's a nod to Italy, but not really. It's like if you go to like an Indian restaurant, what they serve you is probably not what they eat, you know, it's just not. So yeah, we're going there anyway, and they always display calories, and you go there with the best of intentions and say, right, I'm just going to have that because that's all I'm going to have. It's not going to work out. It's not going to work that way. Not when you're in there and you've got the smell up your nose and the opportunity. So, you know, but I always say, whatever diet you do has to fit in with your life, really. So it might just be a write-off week. It's just unfortunate that it's straight away, you know. not good. But, you know, Charlotte said yesterday, she said, you always choose the wrong time to diet. Like, I went, no, well, it's normally, it's just after Christmas. You think, get all that out of the way and I'm going to start. So it's just the way it is, isn't it? You do, but there's never a right time. There's always something. There's always something that is going to pop up. But, yeah, I'm going to carry on with this anyway, at least until after my birthday. And if I don't lose enough or it doesn't work very well for me by that time, I'll switch to do low carb. But I have lost 4 pounds. Yeah, I know. I was quite surprised about that. I didn't think it'd be as much. But yeah, 4 pounds down. Sorry, just moving my light. Yeah, so it's it doesn't sound a lot, does it? You know, when you think about it, like 4 pounds. But if you envisage 4 pounds of blubber, that actually is an unsightly mound. So yeah, I'm quite happy about it. You know, I didn't expect massive drop, but I mean, I know when you do low carb, you get these massive drops at the beginning. But yeah, I'm quite happy with what it is. In fact, I'd be happy if I know I'm going to lose. I'd be quite happy to do this all the time. I don't think my bank balance would be happy though, because the cheapest diet you could ever go on is low carbing. People always say you have to buy all that meat, but I always buy all that meat. You know, it's just a little bit more than you normally would have, but you don't have to buy all those potatoes and those cereals and those fruits and all that other vegetables like potatoes. You don't have to buy any of that. Yogurts and all the stuff that goes into making the things you have. You don't have to buy all that milk and all that. You don't have to buy any of those things. It's the cheapest diet in the world. You don't have to join a group. You don't have to pay for a group. But, you know, I might not do it this time. I don't know. I suppose we'll have to see. I'm talking about diets again. Isn't it funny how life revolves around food? And that's the trouble when you do this diet, though. If I was doing low carb, I wouldn't really be thinking about food. But when you do this sort of diet, it's almost so much planning. And it seems like all you do is plan food, make tomorrow's food, plan tomorrow's food, shop for food, eat the food. It just becomes the be all and end all of life. Anyway, my new headboard is on. It looks nice in there now, because you know, it's a nicer colour. It matches. So yeah, everything's tickety-boo there. Really, really enjoying Landman. I kind of don't want it to end. I think we've only got about 3 or 4 left, but I'm really, really into it. I just love Billy Bob Thornton. He always plays the same sort of person, doesn't he? Although he's not mean in this one. He's not Bad Santa or anything. But he has that I'm a bum and a drunk look, doesn't he? Bit like me. So yeah, I didn't really do any crochet yesterday though. It's harder when Gary's off. He goes to bed a bit later. And I did watch an episode of Silent Witness, but I was so tired last night. I really was. I had one of those days where the tiredness just caught up with me, and I couldn't. It's like my arms couldn't be forced to do it, you know. And it's not like I hadn't done any. I've done quite a lot recently, but I just felt like yesterday I was yawning from about 7. And sat there just yawning my face off. Gary went to bed and I thought, I'm going to watch my soaps. I'm not going to be far behind him. So I watched that, and I think I watched an episode of Silent Witness. I did, yeah. I went to bed at 11:30. And I woke up at 10. It's like 11 and a half hours sleep or something ridiculous. And I just can't believe it. I was so tired. I just slept. I didn't even want to get up when I did. In fact, I set my alarm so I wouldn't sleep in. And when it went off, I went, no, no, go away. And I went back off, and I woke up just before 10. I thought, oh, wow. Gonna regret this, but no, I don't. I might later when I go to bed, because you'll, you know, won't be tired until about 4 in the morning or something stupid, unless I'm going through a tired period, because I do that. I don't know about you, but I go through tired periods and I go through wakeful periods, and then I don't mind the tired periods because you go to bed and you're like cozy and you're just happy. But when you go through the wakeful thing, you just like lay there, try, get up, do some crochet, go back to bed, get up, do something on the computer and watch telly, do something, you know, and then by the morning you feel like nothing on earth because you haven't slept enough. So I'd much prefer the being tired bit. But I seem to have these phases. I have phases like the moon, you know. One minute I can't wake up, next minute I can't go to sleep. I've just got a fickle body. Anyway, on that note, I am going to get off and upload this video, and I want to see if it will upload without hiccups. And fingers crossed that it does. If I don't do the 26k winner today, I'll definitely get it up for tomorrow. So thanks for watching. And if any of you are my new subscribers, welcome. I'm usually much more professional than this. See you on the next one. Bye for now.